Welcome to Reverent and Rebellious, a safe space for faith-based conversations on the things that nobody seems to want to talk about these days. We are reverent, we value truth, we elevate scripture, but we are also rebellious. We shatter myths and we destroy dogma, so jump in. Join us, Logan, Pat, and me, the brother Peter, as we get reverent and we get rebellious.
What's going on, everybody?
It's hot outside.
Yeah, it is.
We got the heat wave going on again. We got a little reprieve for a few days.
Yeah, it's supposed to rain tomorrow and the next day.
Ooh, I hope so.
And then
Yeah, it'd be nice.
And then it's going to be steamy again.
Well, all I know is it is cold in my house right now.
So you're good now.
Oh
Yeah.
man, it feels so good.
What's your what thermostat are you? What kind of temperature?
Well, I'm usually a 68 guy.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm usually like, get it to set it on hang meat and deal with it.
Yeah.
But of course, I live with my lovely wife who is not a 68.
Cold all the time.
Yeah, she, honestly, with this new ductwork system underneath my house, which is so incredibly wonderful, honestly, 70 is cold.
Yeah.
Really?
It's just cold.
Yeah.
And isn't it funny how that happens when
Yeah.
you have an efficient system?
Yeah.
It's like if you're sitting next to the AC, you're like, man, this is a little chilly.
I know.
Yeah.
It's
I know.
a little chilly.
What are you, Pat? What's your thermostat?
I'm a 70 guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
man.
set it at 70.
You're 68 guy?
I am on during the day. I set our thermostats at 69, and actually, I've been at night. I usually bump it down to 67.
Oh.
But I'm gonna tell you, the last two nights, because I read this thing that said 65 is actually the ideal temperature for sleeping.
Wow.
I have bumped ours down just because I got the 2 units, so I'll bump just our bedrooms down to 65, and it is awesome. It's awesome because I am a believer in air. I tell people if someone gives me crap, I'm like, dude, I'm working outside during the day.
Yeah.
I'm hot during the day. When I come home, I want to be cold.
Stacy's
Yep.
Stacy's the type. She'll show me the electric bill every month. She's like, I can't believe our electric bill's this high, and I'm like, I can't believe it's this hot outside. And
Yes.
I'm glad it's not that hot in here.
When our electric bill is really cheap in the winter, because I set our air or our heat on like 64. Like I like bump it down. Like everybody's bundled up in my house. When I was still single, like me and Marcy were dating, but I was living by myself. Dude, I wouldn't turn the heat on until like it'd get down. Probably, I remember one morning I got up to go to tech school. I was brushing my teeth. I could see my breath in the bathroom. And I was like, I probably should turn the heat on.
We used to keep this big Rubbermaid tote full of blankets.
Yeah.
People would come to my house, winter or summer, and they're like, I need a blanket. I need a blanket. I keep it cool in my house.
That's the way. See, this is why we all get along so well.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right.
Yeah, we're not lizard people here in our terrariums.
Yeah. We've done a couple of cold podcasts, I remember.
Yeah, we have.
Yes, we have.
I remember we did one that me and Peter were talking about. By the time we got home, we were still cold.
Yeah, I was happy to get in my car.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got this thing is nice in the summer because
Yeah.
we got a window unit right over here.
Yeah.
In the winter, we're relying on like a little bitty crappy
Yeah.
floor heater.
And we have to unhook it when we're shooting.
Yes, and the floor, like the cold comes up through the floor. My feet will be freezing
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
when we do those. Yeah, I think a lot of times I go in and take like a hot shower just to kind of thaw my bones
You would
out.
think with all the hot air flowing around here,
Yes.
that wouldn't be a problem. But
Here's what I
it is.
want you to do. I want y'all to comment and let us know, are you a lizard person running your air at like 75?
Yeah.
Because then I'll know I don't ever want to come visit you.
Give us your temperature number in
yes.
the comments.
Look, Amber was a champ.
Hold
this
on.
week.
Before you get to read hers, we need you to hit that like button, hit subscribe. And we want you to leave us ratings, 5 stars on Apple and on Spotify, anywhere, Amazon, anywhere you listen, leave us a rating.
Yep.
And if you do all this stuff and comment, then Pat will read your comment like he's just now about to do.
That's exactly right.
I'm gonna read these a little out of order,
Okay.
just because I love these comments so much. Amber said, "I've never heard of these. Very interesting. Talking
She's talking about the Enneagram.
And then she says, Pat's a 5. Thank you, Amber. Brother Peter's a number 1. And Logan's an 8. He's the jerk.
I just don't know how I feel about you thinking that, Amber.
And then Amber says, well, looks like I was wrong. Can't wait to take the test. And I was so glad that even though I am the jerk, Logan is the perceived jerk.
I know.
That did me so well.
I want to know what it is about it. Like, what is it that makes me seem like the jerk?
You're just
It's probably your face.
You're just assertive.
I just look like a jerk. It's my face.
It's your face.
No, it's because you speak directly. You don't mince words. You don't try to, if it's on your mind, it's eventually going to come out, right?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes to a detriment, but that's right.
Yeah. I always try to be diplomatic.
I've claimed if I was like a politician, the one thing people know is they would know what I'm thinking.
Oh, I would be assassinated.
Tell you. Yeah, me too, probably.
I would be assassinated.
All right, what's her other comment?
That was it. That was all 3 of them.
That was it?
That was it. Amber was the champ.
Okay.
Amber,
wow.
we got to get Amber, when we get some swag, we got to hook Amber up.
Okay, so here's another thing that we need to talk about before we get into our content today is that our 100th episode is coming up.
That's it.
This is episode 93.
Man.
So in just a number of weeks, 7 more weeks,
Yep.
we will have our 100th episode. We're trying to cook up something very extra special. We're thinking about the possibility of doing a live episode where everybody could come and you could ask questions on site, and we would have merchandise there and all sorts of fun, so a little bit of food, a little bit of, fellowship, and
Michael Hazard's ghost.
Yes. That would be fun, actually. It would be fun. We could do like Saul did at Endor and call up
summon
the spirit of Michael Heiser.
Yep.
Yes, exactly.
We might accidentally summon Samuel in the process.
Yeah,
He'd be like, not again.
I think it would be really cool.
What are you calling me up for again?
Yes.
When we did Thirsty Thursdays, we could have QR codes where people could write in, and
I thought that would be fun.
And it could be anonymous, or you can say, "Hey, this is Amber," for example.
So as you can imagine, well, we're gonna probably have like a pretty spicy topic, but also we're going to look backward and kind of revisit some of the highlights.
Yeah, well, I was looking because that'll put us right in October.
Yes, middle of October,
getting into the good spooky season.
Getting into Halloween. I'm sure there's some more goblins and things like that.
I'm always down to talk some weird stuff like that.
Our episode 100 should be no holds barred.
Yep.
We're just going to try to have a lot of fun with it. And we want you guys to come celebrate with us. Yeah, no matter where you live. If you live in Iowa, just plan to make a trip.
That's right.
That's it. Yeah.
We'll be announcing it. And we have some listeners in Sweden. Did you know that?
They should come.
They should come.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
Oh, it'd be fun.
If listeners from Sweden came, that would make and we had local people that listened that didn't come, that would make them look really bad.
Oh my goodness.
For sure.
Yes, absolutely.
It's like, we flew 16 hours to be here. Yeah.
And those guys couldn't drive 15 minutes. Yeah.
Let us know your thoughts on that. Would you like to come to a live show? Again, it won't be here in our studio. It'd be at the church.
Yeah. Because we got all the cameras and all the audio and everything. We'd set up a little podcast set, and then we have good lighting and the whole thing, and we can record with multiple cameras, make it super fancy.
And you get to be part of it then.
Yes, exactly.
Yep. Yeah. And like I said, cool swag.
And I don't know if we'll stream it or not, because then you'll be tempted to watch it sitting on your couch. We don't want you to do that. We want you to be in the room.
Yeah. So if you come there, you'll actually get to hear it earlier than everybody else.
That's
absolutely.
Right.
You'll be right on the spot. Absolutely. Yep. So then we got that going on. So that's all the comments there.
Yep.
Okay. Can you look up the comments on Spotify?
Yes. I think so.
Because we got one a few weeks ago that I couldn't find it on my I didn't know how to get to it on my phone. I can get to it on my computer.
Which episode?
I don't know, but if you could is there a general way you can look in the comments, just at comments? Is there like a menu?
I don't know.
Maybe not.
I don't know if I can see them.
See, that was the problem I was running into. I'll try to screenshot it for next week. But it was somebody that That's just a random listener, and had it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
So
Dang. Yeah. No, I don't.
Was it recent?
it was,
wait a
probably
minute.
6 weeks ago or something like that.
All right. I can see it on the. I have to like pull up the thing here and it'll show comments. Let's see.
There's 2 categories of comments. It's like published comments and something else.
Was this one held?
I do not remember.
Was this one from Cho Man?
I think probably. What was that?
Very interesting episode. Greta Van
Yeah.
Fleet is better than Led Zeppelin. Prove
What?
me wrong.
What? No, you are smoking crack. Look, I like
that was on the pseudepigrapha.
Oh yeah, the
pseudepigrapha.
pseudepigrapha. Yeah.
now.
yeah.
Look, Greta Van Fleet is they're a cool band, but they wouldn't even exist if it wasn't for Led Zeppelin because their whole sound is based off of Led Zeppelin. I am offended, and extremely offended by this comment.
All right, Joe man, hit us back. Hit us back.
Oh man, that
Cho Man.
I'm looking the pseudepigrapha. All right, I see this.
Yeah, it's
I am just offended.
episode 87.
I want to leave an angry face. I can emoji respond.
I said boo.
Yeah, no. All right, yeah, y'all. So okay, that's neat. I didn't know that I could see them.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
only you could see them.
No, yeah.
Okay, there you
So
go.
we're all on board.
Yep, I'm extremely offended, but yes, we are on
Yeah.
board.
We see you, and I'm sorry you listen to Greta Van Fleet.
Am I wrong? I'm not wrong. They wouldn't exist if it weren't for Led Zeppelin.
Well,
have
I mean,
no
they
context for it.
might, but I mean,
Their sound would be totally different.
they'd have to rip off somebody else.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
I get it.
They'd probably sound like the Stones or something.
Yeah, you've listened to them before, haven't you?
No.
They sound exactly like like the guy sings like Led Zeppelin.
Robert Plant.
Yeah.
Does the guitar player stumble around like Jimmy Page used to?
I don't think they're new. They lack a lot of the cool factor
Yeah.
of Led Zeppelin, in my
Well, I
opinion.
mean, if we're gonna look at Led Zeppelin actually ripped off a lot of people as well.
Oh, absolutely. It was British guys trying to play American blues
Yeah,
music.
Yep.
that was
Yeah.
it.
But they got away with it.
They sure did.
Yep.
They sure did. Probably should have been some lawsuits along the way. But
I've heard some like versions where I'm like, yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds almost exactly
Yeah,
like the
that's
other one.
exactly right.
Yeah.
So anyway,
What's your joke for us tonight?
He left beforehand, so here we go. Miss Karen, cover your ears.
no, she's gonna give me flack for this one.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
All right, these are the best.
but this is technically a clean joke.
okay.
Technically,
So they must be involving soap.
yeah, that's right. Okay, so a farmer had 5 female goats.
Okay.
Times were tough, so he decided to take them to the county fair and sell them. At the fair, he met another farmer who owned 5 male goats. After chatting for a while, they agreed to mate their goats and split the profits 50-50. So far, so good, right? Mm-hmm. They lived 60 miles apart, so they decided to drive 30 miles each to find a field where the goats could mate. It's just nature, right?
Yeah.
On the first morning, the farmer with the female goats woke up at 5 a.m., loaded the goats into his old pickup truck, the only vehicle he had, and drove the 30 miles. While the goats were busy, he asked the other farmer, "How will I know if they're pregnant?" The other farmer replied, "If they're lying in the grass tomorrow morning, they're pregnant. If they're in the mud, they're not." The next morning, the goats were playing in the mud. Frustrated, he hosed them off, loaded them back into the pickup truck, and tried again. This routine continued for over a week, and both farmers were exhausted. Finally, one morning, he was too tired to get out of bed. He called to his wife, "Honey, please look outside and tell me if the goats are in the mud or in the grass." "Neither," his wife shouted back. "They're in the pickup truck and one of them's honking the horn."
Okay. I don't usually get caught off guard, but that one got me. Okay.
There's some farm humor for
Yes.
everybody today.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Yes,
appreciate
absolutely.
it. I like
We
it.
have a couple of very pregnant goats right now. So
Well,
that's
there you
fitting.
go. See?
Yeah.
Are they in the grass?
They've been honking the horn. Yeah.
Honking the horn. That's it. Okay,
Oh man.
So,
What are we talking about?
Well, we're gonna sort of broaden our topic a little bit. We've been kind of deep in the weeds on this taboo stuff, and so we've covered the Enneagram, we've
Yep.
covered cryptocurrency, all these AI,
Movies.
movies, all these kinds of things. And so I thought it would be kind of fun just to sort of look at the issue of taboos.
Yeah.
There you go.
You know, it's like, where do we get taboos? How do things become taboos? And where in the world, besides just church world, do they have taboos? Now, we were talking before we started rolling about some of the little taboos that we have in church. Sometimes they're unwritten, unspoken rules, you know. What taboos have you encountered in church world?
Well, you know, I mentioned off air before we got in, we were kind of talking about it, and I said one that I can remember was hats in church.
No hats
and
in
actually,
church.
and I even got to thinking even more. I'll tell you another one that I just recently kind of shorts.
Oh, yes.
Shorts and hats were like two things, big no-nos.
We're both guilty.
Yeah.
Well,
I've never worn shorts to church.
I have.
I have never worn shorts to church.
I've not.
And I'll tell you something that what I am guilty of now. Another one was an untucked shirt at church.
Yeah, I remember that was a thing.
Yep.
That was a thing.
So
I remember when I was at the Smithville CP Church. Jonathan Watson was my pastor. I was the youth pastor, worship pastor, and we would have a Sunday night service, regular Sunday night service, and he would, you know, not preach a full sermon, but do a little Bible study, little, you know, devotional, that kind of thing. And we'd sing a little bit, and it was just informal, you know, no big deal. And we'd all go home. And I remember coming in on Monday, and he was sitting at his desk, and he goes, "Well, I guess I messed that one up last night." And I said, "What?" He said, "Well, I was out, you know, my girls were playing softball, and I was out coaching third base and everything." And it's like, "Oh, no. It's time to go for Sunday night service." And so he said, "I just went with my softball shorts on. They were clean. They were nice. I had my good tennis shoes on. And I, you know, led the whole Sunday night service." And somebody came up to me immediately after the service. One of the elders is like, "If you ever wear shorts to church again, it's not going to go well for you." It's like, wow. That is absolutely, I mean, it really sort of, you know, I was pretty new.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I am going to watch my P's and Q's here.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
I didn't tell you. I bet you the hat thing for me is probably as recent as about 3 years ago.
Wow.
And the shorts thing, I don't know. I mean, it's also a fairly new one.
I've always been told you can't dance in church.
Oh, well, tell the Pentecostals that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Man,
you tell Penny Hendricks that.
Yeah.
I've seen her energizers for the youth,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
The church clap.
Yeah. And I mean, there's things like, of course, in my day, when I was a teenager, the big controversy was about drums and electric guitars.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know, that's the
man.
devil's music.
Oh, I'm
You're
mean to tell
welcome.
you. Yeah, we went through, we had this traveling evangelist come, and he went through this whole big thing about the rhythm that comes from the deep jungles and the demonic and the
So it's
voodoo.
demonic.
And just even the pulsing of the rhythm of rock music and pop music.
Had he watched Ricky Bobby?
Probably not.
Those again, the vibrations.
Yes, exactly.
Vibrations
But
coming up my
that's-
legs.
Here was the funny thing, though, is this was like early 70s.
Yeah.
And he played a portion of "Staying Alive."
And it was like demonic.
Well, there's this one little section where they sing, "I'm going nowhere.
Yeah.
Somebody help me." He said, "See, there it is, right there. There's no denying. This is where this music will lead you."
So he was one of those. I remember I was going to a baseball game one time, and it was me and my buddy, and his mom was taking us. And "Stairway to Heaven" came on the radio. And I said, "Oh, man, I love this song." There's another Led Zeppelin shout out. I was like, "I love Led Zeppelin, one of my favorite bands." She goes, she turned it pretty quick. And she goes, that's satanic. And I said, "Stairway to Heaven?" She was like, "Yes, that's a satanic song. They like sing. If you listen to it in reverse, he's like praising the devil."
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, I don't think so.
See, I am confident enough now. I will challenge most metal songs versus worship songs, and I will prove more fallacies in worship songs than you can metal songs.
You probably could possibly do that. I
See,
imagine.
guys,
I will
Pat
take
is
that
the type
challenge.
8, not me. Because
Yeah.
I'm just, when she said that, I'm like, oh, well, that's interesting. I'm like, nah, I don't believe you. But I'm
Yeah,
gonna.
whatever.
Pat's like, no, No. We're going to explain why this is wrong.
Hold my root beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been saying for the longest time, we spend all of our time in worship telling God who he is as opposed to saying who we are.
Yeah.
Oh man, we could.
God's a Republican.
We say we're friends. We're friends with him.
Yeah,
Yes,
God's
I am a friend.
God's a Republican.
Oh, please don't start that. So anyway,
Which one would you rather hear, that one or I Can Only Imagine?
oh my gosh,
Probably.
That's
I
the
can
new
only
taboo.
imagine.
I Can Only Imagine should not be played in anywhere anymore.
I have a running list of hymns and modern worship songs that are on my bad list.
That's
Yeah.
got to be on there.
And sometimes, we'll actually sing them on Sunday morning. Standing there the whole time going, I got to worship God anyway,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you've played I Am a Friend of God.
Oh, a million times.
Yeah.
A million times.
Yeah.
And, sometimes it's just not about what I like.
Yeah.
If it inspires the congregation to worship,
That's the hardest part about doing worship
Yeah.
is we have to swallow the pill and be like, it will lead other people to the Spirit of God.
And that's the thing. Just because I don't like it, that's a me
Right.
thing. That's a
Yep.
me problem.
I guarantee you, if you busted out, I Can Only Imagine, there'd be some old jabronis who would get moved by it.
Oh, absolutely. Because, it is technically a beautiful song.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I
I've
don't
just-
like it now because I heard it
I have heard it
87,000
over and over.
times.
That's exactly right. I've sung it over and over. I've sung it at funerals. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, yeah. But it's funny because I hear some people, they go back and forth about, oh, well, I wish we'd just only sing hymns because the hymns, though, that's theology. That's the story.
Yeah.
And then I always, what plays instantly in my head
Amazing
is,
Grace?
No, he keeps me singing all day long.
Oh, yeah.
That
I don't
song-
even know that one.
Oh, the melody in and of itself is like it sounds like
a circus?
Yeah, but there's within my heart a melody. Jesus whispers sweet and low.
I think I have heard that.
Yeah.
Fear not, I am with thee. Peace, peace. It's
You
like
sing it in your sleep.
it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
That is not theology.
Look, I still maintain that we will always bolster up mediocre musicianship because it's humble.
Well, and here's the funny thing about it, though, is I enjoy hearing the church people sing. He keeps me singing as I go.
Yeah.
I mean, if they love it, that's great. They're
Yeah,
praising
yeah.
it. Not every song has to be super deep. Everything
Yeah.
else. I there's another song called "I Got Joy Unspeakable and Full of Glory." What does that say? Nothing. It doesn't
Yeah.
say anything. You're just happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay.
That's it.
But don't say that hymns
It can
have
only be
a corner on the market on
All right,
deep
give
theology.
me two real quick before we go forward. Give me two that are great that you like.
Great is thy faithfulness. Absolutely. Holy, holy, holy.
Okay.
How great thou art.
Yeah.
It is well with my
as
soul.
the deer panteth.
No.
Black Sabbath and War
As the
Pigs.
deer, it comes directly from the Psalms, so it's technically okay. That's another one that I've just sung so many times.
That's what I've heard.
Oh man, and that's one of those too. The first stanza is right out of Scripture, but after the first stanza, it takes a hard right turn.
Yeah.
You're my friend and you are my brother. It's like,
Yeah.
where did
Where'd
that
that
come
come
from?
Where did
Yeah.
that come from?
It
Yeah.
come from my heart.
That's in 5th John.
God gave me that song. Well, give it back. Anyway, so that's taboos are everywhere at church. I mean,
Yeah.
and most of them are silly.
Most
And-
of them are
and-
silly.
And honestly, I will say, even we have two different kinds of services. One's probably a little more straight laced than the other, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But I think for the most part, we've gotten way beyond all those little
Oh, yeah.
As
nitpicky legalistic
as
things.
we
I'm
read-
thrilled about that.
as we read over these today, I was like, we are really lucky. We
I
don't
know.
have to deal with most of these.
Man, we've just got a unique and a wonderful group of people. And so if you don't have a church home, Holly Grove
Yep.
Church. Yeah.
Would you consider, I just thought of another one, that would this be considered a taboo? Closing your eyes during the prayer.
Oh man.
I was always raised that you close your eyes during the prayer.
Yeah.
I still tell my kids that when we pray. I'm like, now close your eyes, bow your heads.
I know. But here's the weird thing about it is because In fact, one of the podcasts I listen to, Voxology, shout out Voxology.
Yay, I like it.
They listen to us never, but anyway, they just started a little series on prayer, specifically on the Lord's Prayer.
Yeah,
and he set this up by sort of, he went through. There's something called the 18 benedictions. Mm-hmm. There's a Jewish Hebrew name for it. I don't remember what it is right now. Amidah. That's what it is.
Yeah, you do.
And
Remember.
There are 18 separate specific prayers.
Okay.
And this will be prayed in the service in the synagogue.
Okay.
And the wild thing about it is Amidah means standing. Mm-hmm. So the typical posture for Jewish prayer. So Jesus would have prayed like this. Eyes wide open, hands lifted, head looking toward the heavens.
Really?
Yeah. This was...
That's the first thing popped in my head as I lift my eyes up to the Lord.
Yeah. And it's funny because in these 18 benedictions, the vast majority of the prayer content is blessing God, not God bless me.
Yeah.
That's right.
So where did we get the bow your heads, close your eyes?
It's honestly when we began to sort of individualize.
Yep.
When we started, talking about Jesus died for my sins. If I was the only person on earth, Jesus would have came and he would have died for me. And now I can, I have a sin management program because Jesus died for my sins.
It's very corporate
and
as well.
And I get to go to wherever heaven is.
What usually precedes that? Eyes closed with no one looking around.
I know.
Yeah.
And, I'm not saying there's not value to that. And I think, eyes closed, head bowed, hands folded, that's certainly a posture of reverence. I don't have a problem with that either. But I don't in any way suggest that that's the only way. The only posture.
It doesn't make your prayer invalid if your eyes are open.
At all.
I will say that when you do pray, Pat is more than likely looking around.
I like to.
Pat's like, who's picking their nose right now? When everybody's eyes are closed.
We should probably do a series on prayer as well because I did a sermon series on prayer, on walking through the Lord's Prayer and doing the whole thing, and I just found some fascinating stuff. But just the whole idea of there's different kinds of prayer. There's corporate prayer, there's private prayer, there's devotional prayer, but there's also something that Paul talks about, praying in the Spirit.
That's right.
Pray in the Spirit. And he says that directed by the Spirit. That's praying, speaking in other tongues, probably is all of the above.
Yeah.
But I do, there are times when I am moved to pray very spontaneously and allow the Holy Spirit just to kind of direct my prayer. And so I'll get an impression of something in my spirit, and I will pray that out. And my faith statement is that's God's speaking that to somebody through me, and I'm supposed to say that. I'm supposed to say that. I think that has a little bit of praying in the Spirit in it.
Yeah.
But I don't pray that way all the time.
Yeah.
Just when I'm particularly in that space. But anyway, so. What we wanted to do is to kind of examine the world outside of church. Mm-hmm. We wanted to look at taboos around the world in different cultures. Yes, some religious taboos, but also there are quite a few food taboos. Did you know that? Yeah. So I found this article. It is from helpfulprofessor.com. And I thought it was very helpful. It actually was very helpful.
Thanks, Professor.
It just really, I got on the whole subject of taboos, and it's like, wow, we're not the only ones that have taboos. Every culture has them, and so we wanted to kind of look at them. Here's a funny thing about the word taboo. It stems from the Tongan word tabu or tapu. Tabu, which roughly translates to forbidden. Captain James Cook learned about taboos on his 18th century exploratory trips through the Pacific and brought the term back to England. Mm-hmm. Isn't that something? It says here that some taboos are actually things that are against the law of the culture, the law of the land. Others are just simply impolite or considered to be poor taste. We know about some of those, right?
Can I give you 10 right here that are some of the strangest in the world?
Yes, I would love to hear the strangest taboos in the world.
All right. In Russia, whistling inside a home is believed to whistle away your money and invite bad luck. Even casual whistling a tune indoors is frowned upon.
Wow.
Whew.
I would be in trouble. I whistle quite a bit.
I do whistle. I'm
maybe
a
that's
whistler.
Maybe
I explained it.
I've had some, it's my pockets seem to have holes in them.
Oh man. Okay. What's
Number
another
2,
one? Yeah.
pointing with chopsticks.
Oh, I know about this one.
I see. I never heard this in Japan and China.
Yes. In fact, this is good for anybody. Good advice. When we did this, I took 33 college students to Japan for the General Assembly of the Cumberland Presbyterian Church. And so, but before we even left, like 2 weeks before we left, I brought in one of my Japanese friends.
It's like, what do we need to know?
He schooled every single one of them. And that was a big one.
Really?
Yes. And another one was that when you're finished eating, first of all, they really would like you to finish everything on your plate.
Yeah.
But
I usually make them happy in that area.
I do too. But in the event that you don't ever leave your chopsticks sticking in the food.
Just lay it down.
Yeah, you're supposed to lay it down a particular way. Yeah, at the edge of the plate. But because you just killed somebody.
That's what it says. Pointing at someone with your chopsticks or sticking them upright into a bowl of rice is taboo. It resembles offerings made to the dead at funerals.
That's it.
I never heard that.
Never heard that before.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. And it makes you, sort of
When
nervous.
I go to like the Japanese restaurants, I always point at them. I'm like, hey, right here. No, I don't. But now I might do that. I might be like, hey, can you come look at
Who
this?
are you to tell me?
Come here, Tombstone.
Number 3, writing someone's name in red ink.
Oh, well, where is that taboo?
Tell my teachers that.
South Korea and Japan. It says it's traditionally associated with writing the names of the deceased on gravestones.
Wow.
And it says if you do that, it's thought to bring bad luck or death.
Okay.
Number 4, stepping over someone's body. This is India and Nepal.
I have heard of that one, yes.
In Hindu and Buddhist culture, stepping over someone's body, even just their legs, is considered highly disrespectful and spiritually impure.
I mean, don't be in my way then.
All right, now this one I have heard, and it is number 5, using your left hand in the Middle East, parts of Africa and South Asia. The left hand is reserved, and I always actually thought this was not true.
Yeah, it's
but
true.
apparently it's true. Now, Pat, you may have seen this too, but in many cultures, the left hand is reserved for personal hygiene.
Butt wiping hand.
Butt wiping, yeah, that's
That's
it.
Also,
says,
shaking hands with gloves on.
yeah, it says eating, giving gifts, or greeting someone with your left hand is offensive.
Yep.
It's like offering your doo-doo hand.
Yep.
Exactly. But when Jesus says in the Sermon on the Mount, if your enemy strikes you on the right cheek, right?
For that left.
Turn the doo-doo side.
Yeah.
Well, but actually, so think about this. This would have to be a backhand, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then let him hit you,
So yeah, you're exposing them to for their doo-doo side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a difference between a backhand and a forehand, but anyway, yeah.
Serena Williams would agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah,
Number
there you
6,
go, left hand.
in Singapore, chewing gum.
Yeah,
I
this was
saw
on
that
one of
on
my
here,
lists.
yeah.
Mhm.
Selling or importing chewing gum is banned in Singapore, and not because of superstition, but to keep public places clean. Now, I will tell you, when we went to New York City, I could understand. New York City needs to implement this because gum is everywhere.
Everywhere. Crazy.
Number 7, odd-numbered flowers.
I never heard of that one.
Russia, giving an odd number of flowers is associated with funerals. For happy occasions, you must give flowers in even numbers.
Okay.
See, Russians are a little uptight.
They are.
They are.
No whistling and
No flowers. Number 8, touching someone's head in Thailand.
Yeah, that's true. They believe that
Yeah.
the head is where your soul resides.
Yep. It says touching someone's head, even affectionately, is seen as disrespectful because that's the most sacred part of the body. Number 9, eating with the wrong hand of the clock. Eating with the wrong hand of the clock. It says parts of Africa. In some African tribes, eating before elders or eating out of sync with the group can be considered a sign of arrogance.
That's kind of on here with the seating at the head of the table.
Yeah.
wow.
And then number 10, smiling too much. Some Eastern European cultures.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
I would say they're just like people are too happy.
Yeah.
It says here in certain Eastern European countries, smiling constantly at strangers can make people suspicious it may be perceived as insincere or mocking. Now, if it's like over the top, I could get it. But if somebody's just smiling, I'm like,
are you being the joker or are you being happy?
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
So there's just 10 of the really bizarre ones.
That is pretty bizarre.
Taboos are fun because they're bizarre a lot of times.
I agree.
Yeah. Like that's part of what makes them fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got a few more, and some of them are just about as strange as those here. Now, failure to tip at a restaurant, that is an American thing.
Yeah. Yep.
In most every other countries, now some countries tipping is considered insulting.
Really?
Yeah. You pay your bill. That's it, because the servers are well taken care of. So to give extra is like
you're saying, well, you don't make enough money.
Yeah. It's degrading. When I was in European countries, especially Switzerland, they schooled us on the tipping practice. They said no more than 10%. Any more than that is extravagant and it is insulting. But a little bit extra here, a little bit extra there is all, it's like, chef's kiss. That's all good. But like in New Zealand and Australia, it says here, it is highly rude
to tip.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I need to go eat there.
Yeah. So when you go to every restaurant there and they turn the little thing around for you to pay, it doesn't pop up the tip.
No gratuity.
No.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And if you, like in Switzerland, if you would tip, it would be coins. Only coins.
But now they actually pay the people like a higher
living
wage.
wage.
Yeah, well,
Absolutely.
gratuity there is considered a paycheck.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because isn't that how they justify it here? It's
yeah.
like, we're going to pay you crap, but you're going to get tipped.
Yep.
When I waited tables in Nashville at high-end restaurants, I was paid $2.12 an hour.
What?
Big baller.
Did you make enough in tips to cover that?
I was a pretty good waiter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you like to work at a high-dollar place so that
you get the better tips, better clientele.
See,
Yeah.
I call that
higher
incentive.
checks. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I agree. I agree.
That's the concept behind it.
Yeah.
We're not going to pay you anything because we want you to be good.
Work hard.
Yeah, exactly. And
Did you write down the order or did you memorize it?
I never wrote down an order.
Oh, that always makes me nervous when a waiter does that.
And I would do it for a whole banquet table.
Really?
Yeah, I could do it.
I couldn't take your order without messing it
I'm
up.
the same way. I'd be like, yeah,
Man,
I
I'd
gotta
get the salad dressings and the whole 9 yards. Man.
No, yeah, they wouldn't want me doing that. All right, what else we got?
Okay, so pointing at someone's chest.
Now, this was my question. Now, is this like poking at you or just like pointing, like
pointing.
you?
No, poking I feel is offensive no matter what.
Right,
Yeah, that is.
It said global, and I was like, yeah, you poke me in my chest. We're
No.
fighting.
Yeah, that is.
But there are many nations around the world that would accept general pointing. You're pointing at stuff, but if you point right here, it's as if they were poking your chest.
Okay.
Gotcha.
To us.
I could kind of see it.
Here's one that I actually, this is part of our schooling to go to Japan. Showing somebody the bottom of your feet. Many nations in Asia and Middle East find the bottom of feet or even pointing with the foot to be highly offensive.
My wife would be in trouble.
My question about this is, are they talking about feet like they talk about feet in the Bible? Because if that's the case, then, I could
kinda
Point at the
see that,
ground, and that's it.
What does Stacy point with her foot a
She
lot?
does. Sometimes Stacey would be like, over there.
Well, be careful if you send her to the
yeah.
Middle East or Asia.
We can't afford to go to Memphis.
Yeah, I know.
More
I
or
know.
less Middle East.
Now, here's the other thing, too, is the custom of taking off your shoes before you go inside.
yeah.
I hate that.
Well, yeah, but 80% of the world does that.
Man, I wouldn't jive with them. I don't like that.
But we're like one of the only countries.
I get it. I get I've got friends that are like,
When I read
they
this,
keep their house super clean. They're like, you got to take your shoes off. I just don't go over to their house.
when I read this statistic, for me it was like, oh yeah, everyone else is on the metric system. We're America.
That's
we
right.
Don't do that.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah, I know. I mean, why is it a big deal?
I just don't like. I don't like being without shoes.
Really?
Yes, I'm always going to have some form of shoes on.
Have you ever walked barefoot across the floor and felt those crumbs or things on your
for
feet?
sure, yeah.
I despise that.
I
Yes.
just always feel like I'm doing good in the world by picking up all those crumbs. It's like, well, I'll just wipe them up on the mat.
I don't know, man.
It sounds like a you thing.
See, I don't wear flip flops either.
No, I know that.
Yeah.
You made that very clear.
I feel like I'm at a tactical disadvantage, and I'm a tenderfoot. I wear shoes all the time, so I'm a tenderfoot. So like, if the house caught on fire and I had to run outside, I got to put shoes on. So
one thing I will say though is, especially I noticed this in Japan, was that almost everybody wears slip-on shoes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
I'm sure because they got to take them off everywhere.
Wherever they go.
If they had to wear tennis shoes everywhere, they get tired of tying and untying them things.
Absolutely, they would.
But I think, and I'm not going to go in. I don't go into somebody's house with dirty shoes.
No.
But and I know, like I said, I got friends that if you could go to like a shoe store, buy a pair of shoes, and get them out of the box, put them on right as you're about to walk in, and be like, you got to take those shoes off.
You need better friends.
Well, like I said, I don't go to their house.
Yeah, say like if I got like muddy shoes or something, I'm gonna kick them off. I'm not gonna
I'll
track
tell you
it in
this
your
too.
house.
People's feet stink, so keep your shoes on.
Man, what you
true.
said.
It is
Yeah,
true.
I'm like, keep your shoes on. I'd rather you wipe your shoes off on the rug, and which we got concrete floors in the house, so if you get a little dirt or something, we'll just sweep it up or dust it up. So I'm like, it ain't that big of a
And
deal.
you know what? See, we have hardwoods in our house, and so if you walk through there barefoot and your feet are hot, guess what? I got to see your little feet print.
Yeah, I don't want to see
now,
that.
All of a sudden.
I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
No. Keep them shoes on.
They also all wear socks. So
Well, yeah.
yeah, and there are places that we went. Some of the students, they had their no sock shoes on, and they actually have socks for you to put on. They will give you some socks.
Little booties.
So they don't want to see them piggies.
They really don't.
Yep.
No. So excessive eye contact is another taboo in many countries.
Is that like a intimidation or something?
Well, if you know what happens if you lock in with an animal,
Yeah.
they freak out.
Yeah, and this is common with the Aborigines.
Yes, for sure.
We had a friend that had a monkey. Like, I don't remember if it was a gorilla. He used to live off of Tracy Road. He moved, but he had like basically a zoo at his house.
Oh, wow.
And he had a gorilla, or not, it probably wasn't a gorilla, but it was a big monkey
Ape.
in his garage. But it was in a dog kennel. And I remember I was a kid, and they were like, his name was Hank, not the monkey, the owner of the monkey. But he was like, don't look it in the eyes. He said, because if you look it in the eye, it'll jump at you. I had to look it in the eyes, and it did. It jumped at the thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's a taboo. So there you go.
Well, the monkeys don't like it.
Here's a funny one: burping and flatulence.
I thought that was charming.
The funny thing is, it's like burping and flatulence worldwide.
Everyone.
Burping and flatulence are considered inappropriate in nearly all social settings in most nations.
Yeah, no one wants to smell your food before or after digestion.
Except for there are we went to a Moroccan restaurant one time, and they didn't make us do this, but they said it is customary in Moroccan meals after everyone has finished eating to go around the table and burp. Everybody needs to burp. That is the sign that you enjoyed the meal.
Really?
Yeah, and I can't burp on command.
I can't either. It just has to happen.
Yeah.
I have to drink like a Coke or something.
Yeah,
to
something.
Work a burp
So
up.
I'm just gross.
So I'm like, could I have some carbonated green tea?
Yeah. Can someone come pat my back and like burp me?
Yeah. So anyway.
Does that all burping gives me more room to eat more?
Oh,
Yeah,
for
it does.
sure.
I'd be
Yeah,
like, where's
I love it.
dessert?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm like, it's like my little grandson Shepherd. It's like, and it's like, hey, all right,
I'm ready for more.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so a couple of these are just non-starters.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting. This is very interesting. This is a Japanese thing.
Oh, yeah,
It's taboo to leave the office before your boss.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
What if your boss is a workaholic?
that's what happens.
And
so
all
often.
Japanese are workaholics.
Sounds like they don't have a choice.
They have these little, now see, everything runs on trains in Japan. They have roads, but not, your traditional routine is to get on the train and go to work.
Yeah.
And the
Because none
trains
of
are
them
a
have
big deal.
shoes worth of crap. So
That's
they
exactly right. Yeah. And if you're in Japan, especially in Tokyo, you can get a job as a people pusher on the trains.
like you just push people.
Uh-huh.
Like,
I want
They
that
cram
job.
them into the trains like sardines.
that
cattle.
sounds
You're like
horrible.
You're like crammed in there this close to everybody.
I
Yeah.
think that
And-
would be a great job.
Yeah, they literally push.
Get in there.
No, I just mean it sounds terrible being packed
It
that
is.
tightly
It's
with
terrible.
people. I would hate that.
It's not good. Anyway, but at the train stations, they have these little motels, and they're like coffins. Literally, they're just big enough for you to lay down in. And they have all kinds of amenities. They have like little music you can put on, and you know little tiny shelves for you to put all your stuff. But basically, they roll it out, you get in, you roll it back in again, like the morgue.
Oh my gosh.
And the reason they have those is because sometimes the boss doesn't leave until really, really late, and by the time the worker gets out, you can't catch the train because they're all done running. They
So
don't
you
run
just
24 hours a day.
Sleep in the morgue.
You put in your money, or you swipe your card, and you get in your little motel. And
Dang. So they ain't claustrophobic.
No. And they're, I mean, it's not like it's it's got a little space.
I bet you the Japanese don't have nagging wives in.
Well, they can't. I
Yeah.
mean, no, it's like,
It's like,
Why didn't you come home last
Yeah.
night?
Didn't have
The
a
boss
choice.
never
I'm
left.
sleeping in the morgue.
and
Sorry.
that's also there is also a pretty big drinking culture there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you also have to drink as much as your boss does.
Dang.
Yeah. So
Oh.
there's kind of this lethal combination. So it's like the boss says, "Okay, we're done working, but we're going to have a meeting.
Do some drinking.
We're going to go around the corner to the steakhouse, and we're going to have a meal, and we're going to and sometimes they'll just sit and they'll drink it till 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Now nobody can go home, so you have to stumble to the train station and stumble into your bed. And I mean, it's just like this weird kind of hamster wheel kind of
That is crazy.
experience. It is. It's nuts.
Well, while you were saying that too, I looked up punishment for some of these.
Yeah.
This is pretty wild. Stepping on currency with a king's image in Thailand is considered taboo, and the punishment can carry up to 15 years in prison
Jeez.
if you step on a coin. Eating beef in certain Indian states, this can lead to life imprisonment, heavy
yeah.
fines, in
Yeah, 'cause-
extreme mob cases, violent attacks.
Because the cow's a sacred animal.
Because you
Yeah.
might be eating Uncle Fred.
Yeah.
Yes. Violating Ramadan fasting
Yeah.
in public.
Yeah.
In Saudi Arabia, this can lead to fines, jail time, deportation, or public flogging.
Yes, they're
Wow.
big on public. Don't mess up and eat a candy bar at
Yep.
the wrong time.
Adultery in Afghanistan, Somalia, and other nations under strict Sharia law.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to remind people that want to bring this Sharia law stuff here to the United States. Let me tell you right here. In extreme interpretations can carry public execution by stoning.
Mm-hmm.
They still do that.
Yeah.
And one method of stoning is to put you in a hole and fill it in so only your head's exposed.
So your body just gets crushed.
Well, they just throw the stones at your head.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. In America,
Jeez.
they just put you on tour bus with Willie Nelson.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right. Yes.
Yeah, they really stone you there.
All right. So what about this one? Bartering for price.
Yeah, that was an interesting one too, because I was
So no
thought that-
haggling?
well, I always thought that everybody else bartered but us, but apparently it is bartering for price on personally made white glove goods is frowned upon. Bartering for secondhand trinkets is more common.
What if
So-
you're buying a car?
Well, I don't know about that, because that's almost one of the only things we do barter with.
Right.
You
Yes.
That's exactly where I went. As soon
I'm
as
a
I thought,
terrible barter. Like I'm not a good haggler.
I'm really bad. They go, no, I gotta have 75. Okay,
Yeah, I'm like,
All
I'll
right.
give you 8.
Exactly. You look like you need it.
Yes. I'm sorry for even saying anything about it.
Not me.
Pat's like, I'm an 8.
Yeah,
I want to get you. I'm giving 5 and no more.
I'm a line in the sand kind of guy. I'm like, nope.
You
nope.
hear that, Amber? Not
right.
me, Pat.
Yeah.
So apparently, photographing strangers in many places around the world is an invasion of privacy. May even be against the law.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah,
I could see that.
and you're not supposed to take pictures of Amish people either.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
What about on the photographing strangers? How does like paparazzi not get into some heat on that?
Well, they say here that if people are identifiable in the background of your pictures, it's polite to blur their faces before sharing the images.
But do they consider, like, are celebrities exempt from being a stranger because they're a celebrity?
I mean, they're already on shared everywhere anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that's probably a gray area.
I like they put theft on here.
Worldwide.
Yeah, what country's like, oh, you stole it, it's okay.
Yeah.
We'll forget it.
Yeah, I don't know that that's a taboo. I'm like, I think that's just a...
Some of these are a little bit goofy.
Yeah, like sexist and racist jokes. I was like, yeah, you know, some people love that where they're from.
Here we go. Putting your hands in your pockets.
Yeah, I'm guilty. I do it a lot.
It's seen as too relaxed in many cultures. If you're doing business with important people, try to keep your hands out of your pockets. Also, here you go, wearing shorts. In Morocco, men are expected to wear long pants even in the heat of summer. You can wear your shorts as much as you want around the house, but when you go out in public, you better put your...
God, sounds like my wife.
You know, maybe that's where we got it.
Maybe.
You know?
I mean, I got on shorts tonight, but that's what, it's funny. I used to never wear shorts.
I love this 27 for the purity culture. Showing your shoulders.
Whoa, slow down.
Many Arab countries.
Yeah.
Slow your roll over
Women
there.
are generally expected to dress conservatively in many Arab countries.
Yeah.
Western
Showing
female
your shoulders.
travelers to Morocco often wear shawls over their shoulders to be respectful to their host culture.
Best not be showing no clavicles now.
That's right. Also, there's this one right below it. Where is it? It was
public nudity.
yeah.
What's taboo about that? I saw a thing today. They were talking about
Can't let your flag fly.
I'll keep this a little vague, but they were talking about the WNBA stuff that keeps happening.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, hey, they're mad about this stuff being thrown on court. Back in my day, we just had naked people run out on the court. They were called streakers.
Do you remember Ray Stevens' song, The
Yep.
Streak?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
man.
Oh,
Yep.
Ray Stevens is funny.
Yeah.
Is he dead?
No, he's still alive.
Yeah.
He
Okay,
still
I
does
thought he had
shows.
died.
No, he has a theater in Branson.
That sounds about right. It
Yeah.
would be in Branson.
So he could be dead.
He could be, yes.
Ray Stevens is AI,
Probably.
Yeah.
What about it's illegal to spit in some places?
That is so true. That is absolutely true. Cannot spit in public in many places.
Well, you got to read number 29 because I take offense to this
See,
one.
this is the funny thing. I was just going to draw attention to that. It says wearing shoes indoors most of the world.
Yeah.
Well,
Most of the world.
that's like the old adage where if you're like, well, so-and-so did this, and your mom would be like, well,
Well,
if they all jumped off a
I know,
bridge,
I
would
know.
you?
You know what?
No.
You know what we loved in Germany though. In
Warm
Germany,
beer?
no. In Germany, it's completely legal to go to the bathroom outside as long as you're not facing the road.
So you can turn around and just pee.
Oh yeah.
What if you had to take a duty?
Well, I don't know. We never had to drop a deuce on the side of the road, but we peed a lot.
Did it stink like pee outside?
Nah.
Okay.
I feel like that would make it kind of stinky.
Well, I mean, leave it to America. We ruin it for everybody.
So here's some food taboos.
Okay.
Eating horse or dog.
All right, I've had this conversation, but I would eat a horse or a dog if the circumstances called to.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have a problem with either one of them. I don't like horses, to be honest with you. I might eat a horse for fun. Sorry to our horse people, but I don't like horses.
I like glue.
Yeah, I like glue. I love my dog. I love my dogs. But if I was like in a dire situation and it's me and my dog, I would hug them real tight, tell them how much I love them, and then I'd tell them I appreciate what they're about to do for me.
Dear Lord, thank you for this meal we're about to receive.
No, look, I got a buddy of mine. He's Filipino, and he was raised here in America, but his parents were immigrants.
Yeah.
And he was telling me that he went to his grandparents' house, and he always played with the little dog there, And he's like, one day he went over there for a barbecue, and he's like eating these ribs, and he's like, where's so-and-so dog? And they're like,
Where's Fluffy?
right there. And he was like, and his thing to this day was, Pat, it was good. It was good ribs.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like it would be good. Yeah. But, I mean, my dogs ain't real hefty. My brother-in-law, Joey, he had, Liz listens to this, so she'll get a kick out of this. Joey had a black lab. I don't know how much he weighed. He probably weighed 150 pounds. His name was Boomer. He's the fattest black lab I'd ever seen in my
that's
life.
the tender meat right there, baby.
That's what I'm like. If I had, dude, you could live a month off of that dog.
Yeah.
Like,
Think about the fat cap on that rump roast, man. Man, you just put that thing on a spit and let it roll for a while.
would you eat a horse or a dog?
I think I would.
Yeah.
I think I would. I would not eat my horse or my dog. No.
So if you were stranded on an island,
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I'd probably kill a snake and eat it if I had to.
oh yeah.
I mean,
Well,
we've all eaten McDonald's before, and God
Yeah.
knows what that is.
Well,
Yeah.
and I mean, when you go to other countries, especially Asian countries, you go to the meat market and there'll be ground horse meat.
Yeah.
It's just there. And you know, they consider it a way to deal with aging animals. You know, the horse
Yeah.
gets too old. Well, let's just grind it up.
It
Yeah.
might be stringy by then, though.
well, that's what I've always felt like. Horse and dog would be kind of a stringy meat.
What you want to see a stringy meat? Try eating some bear.
I've had bear,
I have
Yeah.
bear, yeah.
It's
so-
stringy.
but
yeah.
now the bear I had was like roasted or barbecued and stuff.
Okay.
But it was kind of greasy.
Yes, it is. Yeah, there's a lot of fat content in bear.
Yep.
All right.
But some of the I don't know. We ate bear meat one winter when I lived in Oregon because my
I
dad
think
didn't
he
get
told
a,
me. Yeah, I think he told me
didn't
this
get
story.
a deer. And so the neighbor felt sorry for us and brought us some bear meat, and we had bear sausage. and
Was it
everything.
good?
Yes, it was good.
See, I've always heard it depends on like the area, because if you get a bear that's been eating berries and stuff, they're really good.
Yeah.
But if you
Now-
get a bear that's been eating dead fish,
Yeah,
then
that-
it tastes like dead
that-
fish.
Now,
I wouldn't-
I'm really curious about number 46 because you're from Washington and
Yeah.
you grew up in a pretty good household. See, we were rude in my household. This didn't matter.
Yeah, I
And
got
so-
my elbows on here right now.
Well, see, that's what I was curious about is placing your elbows on the table.
Yeah, that was a big deal for us.
Was it?
No elbows on the table, but mainly because my heritage is German, Irish, and Scandinavian.
That's when you like that Scandinavian nut cake so
I
much.
sure do. It's probably not even Scandinavian, but I'll take it. It's delicious. But you know, Scandinavian people, Swedes, Norwegians, they're very, very reserved.
Yeah.
It's because it's so cold up there that they never see another human being for like 6 months.
Yeah.
I love the reason they have on here is no elbows on the table is an old-fashioned rule designed to prevent outbreaks of fight.
That's where it
Wow.
came from.
So maybe if we didn't put our elbows on the table growing up, maybe we wouldn't fight so
Maybe you
much.
wouldn't have.
Maybe I
fought,
wouldn't
yeah.
be an 8.
Yeah.
Yes.
But elbows on the table. That was a big deal. I mean, my grandma, she would swat your elbows right off
Really?
the table.
Really?
Oh yeah. It's like, don't
Didn't
you
they
know?
do that on I Love Lucy? Wasn't there an episode
I
about
think
that?
there was too.
I
I don't remember
know.
much about it.
I loved I Love Lucy.
Chewing with your mouth open.
Now that one, I have a problem
That
with.
drives me out.
Yeah.
of my
If I
mind.
watch your food get smaller,
Yeah,
we have
no.
a problem.
Yeah, I'm like, you are a straight Neanderthal.
Using a fork instead of chopsticks. Do you know how to use chopsticks?
I love using
I do too.
chopsticks.
Do you-
I'm the only one in my family that uses them.
Really?
Like my wife, my dad will use them. Me and my dad are apparently the only cultured ones in our family.
Apparently.
Yeah. What about you, Pat?
Everybody in my household is cultured except me.
Oh,
See, there you go.
typical 8.
Yeah.
I made all
These are
of
my
the,
chopsticks right here.
yeah.
I made all the students practice with chopsticks
Yeah.
before we went because I wanted them. You know, I didn't want them to have to be in. See, they stayed in people's homes.
Oh, yeah.
And
Well, you really.
oftentimes there was no English speakers or maybe just one.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was a lot of so it's like you can get yourself in trouble really fast.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want them to be in a position where they would say, "You got a fork around here?"
Yeah.
You know, it's like, no.
Now, I do eat rice with a fork.
I'm just saying.
I'm not that dedicated.
If Chuck Norris can win karate competitions and he's American, I'm not worried about it.
I kind of like using chopsticks. Especially I like to point at the waiter with them.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, dude.
Leave them standing in your bowl
Yes.
of rice. Yeah,
Peyton
absolutely.
can take them and like eat Cheetos and stuff with them.
Yeah,
I could
It's
eat it, but the
wild.
rice, did you eat rice with
yeah,
them?
yeah.
Man, I feel like it
There-
takes a long
see,
time.
here's
Don't you scoop it?
Yeah. The wild thing about it is, they will use chopsticks for everything, but they will eat in such a manner that we would find rude.
Yep,
Really?
they scarf it
Yeah.
down.
The soup they do have those little spoon things,
Yeah.
but they slurp. Everything is slurp.
Oh,
And
okay.
slurping is considered, like this is good.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Slurping is good. And then to finish the rice. Now honestly, they usually have the rice in a bowl.
So
Yeah.
they'll bring the rice bowl
Hardly-
up to their face.
Yeah, they shovel it in like this.
Okay.
And it looks kind of gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also another taboo, I did not know this, and I learned it early on, and I'm glad I did. But picking your teeth visibly is very rude in Japan.
Yeah.
They always do this.
Like using a toothpick.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, see, I could see that too.
I could kind of see
Yeah,
that.
I don't want to see you pick stuff out of your teeth.
No,
I'm okay with that.
I honestly just wait till I'm in private.
That's what I do.
Yeah,
Just go
I'm
to
right
the-
there with
you
you.
know.
Yeah.
Usually,
Some
I just get a
dental floss or
toothpick and chew on it.
I like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really do. Can you flip it around in your mouth?
I have, but I've also stabbed myself in the roof.
I was just going to say, has that ever resulted in a life-threatening situation? Yeah.
Razor Ramon over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, I have done it, but I don't do it often because like I said, I have, and actually I have stabbed myself in the roof of the mouth more than one time. So I'm ashamed to even admit it's been multiple occasions.
I will chew on a toothpick until it becomes splinters in my mouth,
Yep.
and then it's got to go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It gets waterlogged.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So here's the interesting one. In some cultures, it's taboo to leave food on the plate. In other cultures, it's taboo to not leave food
Yep.
on the plate.
Well, because if you don't leave food, then that means they didn't give you enough. Is that they're thinking?
If you, yeah. Well, no. Yeah. That's exactly right. Because you need to be full enough to where you couldn't finish everything.
Yeah.
But then on the other side,
If you leave it, it's
if
you didn't
leave
enjoy it.
You didn't like it. That's
So,
exactly right.
which did you say Asian culture? You don't leave food on the plate.
That's right. You finish
Well,
everything.
my wife needs to listen to this because when we go,
Could you imagine taking kids to any of this
oh
place?
well, see, but I'm the one like because we usually get one order and split between our kids.
Yeah.
And we'll put it on a plate, and my wife will be like, "You don't have to finish all that." But I was always raised, it's like you eat everything on your
That's
plate.
it.
And she's like, well, that's not good. That's raising an epidemic of people that eat too much. And I'm like, well, I get it. But now I'm going to be like, when we go to an Asian restaurant, I'm be like, you better eat every bit of that on that plate.
Well, here's the funny thing
so
about
you're
it,
doing
though.
a buffet.
Yes. As I stick some chopsticks in the rice.
Right. Point. But they will tell you that to be very careful about your portion size because you need to finish everything.
Got to finish it all.
Yeah, and so to take too much and then not finish it, it's mainly kind of gluttonous.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have taken that much to begin with.
Yep.
And now that sounds like grandma. There's starving kids in Africa.
Your eye was bigger than your stomach.
My brother used to say, "Well, let me package this up and send it to him." Dad.
You got a stamp, Ma?
Yeah.
Exactly. Also, there are cultures where eating with your fingers is terribly rude. And then there are other cultures where you eat everything with your fingers.
Yep.
That Moroccan restaurant, everything was, including the rice, was with fingers.
I don't really think I would want to watch that.
But then, see, the wild thing is, you finish, like, it kind of comes in waves, courses, whatever. And you're sitting on the floor on a pillow.
Yeah.
Everything is, there's no chairs. And so
So where are your legs? Your legs just sprawled out?
Yep. You cross, that kind of thing. Yep. Uh-huh. And then they bring things sort of one thing at a time, and you take your portion, and then you eat the whole thing with your fingers. But then they come around with this cool looking water. It looks like a teapot, but it's bigger than that. And you hold your hands out, and they do that, and you kind of wash them off, and then you're ready for the next round.
Are you like, hey, if you had a fork, we wouldn't have to do this. We could save that.
Peter kept a bar of lava right here.
I got a trowel here or something, anything,
Just pull out. Yeah, it's like, hey, you could save some water.
Yeah, that's what they do, though. I don't know. They're like, no, we don't have to wash dishes. So
I love that these next ones are about dinner conversation.
yeah,
Business, politics, and religion.
yeah, isn't that just kind of common sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not. Yeah.
It made me think of the meme I've seen where it'll be like, it'll say like preparing to go to my family's Thanksgiving dinner with my wife. And it'll be like, my wife says, please don't talk politics at this dinner. And then the next slide shows Mel Gibson in The Patriot when he's running with the flag.
Yeah. Now these are we're getting down to the end of this article here, but here's a couple that was also really a big deal when we were kids, and that is eating before everyone is at the table.
We still really pretty much are that way.
That's it. There are times when somebody will say, "Hey, start without me,"
Yep.
then it's like, okay.
Yep.
I always love that because now the food doesn't get cold.
If we go out to a restaurant, like if everybody, we don't all eat until everyone gets their plate.
Right.
We're still that way.
Thing. Yep, same thing. And sometimes I'll go, oh no, you go ahead. You can start. I'm not going to do it.
See, and this is where it's weird. I will wait for people, but I don't care if someone starts eating.
Well, I'm the same way. It would not offend me if they start eating, but I'm going to wait.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I don't know why that is.
Yeah.
I don't either.
And that was number 61 and 62, eating before everyone's at the table, eating before everyone has their food.
Gotcha.
I'm in on both of them.
Yep, me too.
That's exactly right.
But like I said, it doesn't offend me if somebody else does it.
Yeah. Well, there's been many a times like they bring my wife's food out before mine, and I'm like, no, go ahead, babe. Go ahead, you eat your food.
It's like I'm better. I'm a better person than you.
That's exactly
I'm gonna wait.
Clearly, I'm a better person than you.
Yeah, you got to wait for yours to get cold.
Yeah,
exactly right.
Mine will come out hot.
And then we kind of have these little. These are more like, is it polite or is it not? Offering to split the bill or not offering to split the bill. There's a especially in the honor shame cultures. If somebody invites you out, it would be rude to ask to split the bill.
Really?
Oh, it'd be no.
It's expected for the host to do it.
Man, see stuff like that. I would need to know if I travel because in my mind it's like I'm being generous.
I know.
And trying to be like you took me out to eat. Let me split the bill.
Let me
with
help.
you.
I want to show goodwill. No, they're like, oh, you think I'm another good host? Really, they take it.
So if you were to, what if you like snuck and paid the bill?
Oh.
And you would be like executed.
Yeah, that's where you need to be like, I know your boss kept you out drinking sake all night, so I got this.
They would probably never go out to eat with you.
That's crazy, man. Yeah. Dang.
No.
But you know what though? And again, me being me, if someone's like that, I probably don't want to go back out and eat with you anyway.
But if you kind of tap into that honor shame kind of idea, then you have a deeper appreciation for when somebody insists on showing you hospitality. They're honoring you, and so thereby they are honored as well. And it's especially humbling when somebody doesn't have very much.
Yeah, and they still take you out and do that.
And they will give you
that's
what they have.
Or you pat them on the head.
Pat them on the head, that's right. And you pick your teeth.
With your left hand.
And point at them right in the chest and say thank you.
And then you burp and you
with your chopsticks.
You
use the chopsticks to point. I think the place would just burst into flames.
Spontaneously combust, yes. So those are cultural, few little religious ones, and then some food and drink taboos. But what I wanted to finish with is there are some interesting passages in the Bible where we're not talking about sin issues,
cultural
necessarily, but they seem to be really, really important.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to kind of dig into a couple of those and see what you guys think about it. Okay. So the first one, these all three of these are in 1 Corinthians.
Yep.
So you can get the idea that there was something going on with these Corinthians that may not have been too cool.
Yeah.
Paul is literally having to school them.
Yeah.
Because it's totally out of bounds. So in 1 Corinthians 8, this is, he says, now concerning things sacrificed to idols, we know that we have knowledge. Knowledge makes arrogant, but love edifies. Knowledge puffs up, love builds up. That's how we like to say it.
Yeah.
If anyone supposes that he knows anything, he has not yet known as he ought to know.
That's right.
It says, but if anyone loves God, he is known by him. Therefore, concerning the eating of things sacrificed to idols, we know that there is no such thing as an idol in the world, and that there is no God but one. For even if there are so-called gods, whether in heaven or on earth, as indeed there are many gods and many lords, yet for us there is but one God, the Father, from whom are all things, and we exist for him, and one Lord, Jesus Christ, by whom are all things, and we exist through him. However, not all men have this knowledge.
Yeah.
I feel like Paul is sort of patting him on the head.
Yeah.
Yes.
These are things we always do, and these are things we never do.
Yeah.
Because not all men have this knowledge, but some, being accustomed to the idol until now, it means that they've just gotten away from the idol, just barely.
Yeah.
Eat food as if it were sacrificed to an idol, and their conscience being weak is defiled. But food will not commend us to God. We are neither the worse if we do not eat, nor the better if we do eat. But take care, lest this liberty of yours somehow become a stumbling block to the weak. For if someone sees you who have knowledge dining in an idol's temple, will not his conscience, if he is weak, be strengthened to eat things sacrificed to idols? For through your knowledge, he who is weak is ruined. Well, that's a mouthful.
Yeah.
Did you ever just like know things and you could actually ruin somebody through it? The brother for whose sake Christ died. And so then he finishes this. He says, and thus by sinning against the brethren and wounding their conscience when it is weak, you sin against Christ. Therefore, if food causes my brother to stumble, I will never eat meat again, that I might not cause my brother to stumble.
That's like it's the Jurassic Park of Bible verses, where it's like they never stop to think just because they could, or that they can, that they should.
That they should. Yes, exactly. What do you make of this passage, Pat?
For me, we just went over this recently. It has nothing to do with the meat, but everything to do with the meat.
Yeah, it does.
You know, and that's what's crazy about it. And that's quite literally how Paul's putting it. He's putting it that we know that there's no idols. They are nothing.
Yeah.
There's one God. But if someone who is just from that belief system sees you doing it, thinks the belief system's okay, not the meat. They think it's the belief system.
Yeah.
Well, here's another thing too. Like when I was in college, I went to this wonderful little church, and we used to go out on, during the week sometimes, on a Tuesday night or a Wednesday night or something.
You'll get plastered.
No, I was like 17.
It's Jello shots.
Yeah, but we would typically go to, it's kind of a diner in town that would stay open late, and and a bunch of us from the church would be there, and we'd all order, just little bits and pieces of something, whatever we had money for, and we'd talk about what happened at church, and we'd talk about life or whatever, and there was this young lady who was 21 and over 21, and she started ordering margaritas.
So she was getting plastered.
Well,
No.
I have no idea.
Hold on. Now, back in that, was it not legal to drink at 18?
No, it was 21, but I mean, she was
Dang,
legal
Peter,
to drink.
he just said you were like prohibition age.
Yeah,
that's what he said.
I was just there for the French fries. I didn't care, and I honestly didn't care, and I don't think anybody at the table really cared if she had a margarita or not.
Yeah.
I mean, they were pretty liberated. There's lots of craft beer, and it's a wine country. It's everything.
Yeah.
We're used to being around that regularly.
Yeah, nobody cared.
But one of the older guys took her aside and said, I don't care about that, but there are probably others in this tiny little town who know that we're from a church talking about stuff that probably care.
Yeah.
So we probably shouldn't do that. I feel like that's sort of the tone that Paul is taking here.
I agree with that.
And so is it a taboo or is it not a taboo? Well, in certain situations, it's not a good idea.
And that's the thing it's impact over intent.
Right. And here's the wild thing about it, though, is he says, because that it's not a big deal, you could ruin somebody by saying it's not a big deal when it actually is to them at that time.
Yeah. Well, I think that's an easy one, kind of where we go back to if someone was struggling with alcohol.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
You wouldn't.
That'd be even worse.
Yes.
He's sitting there, slamming down some shots and beers, and they're sitting there going.
They're sweating bullets.
Well, and also, sometimes, especially new believers or people who have just recently come out of something, they're like, okay, so I'm now in an environment where nobody does this, so I don't have to be tempted as long as I'm here. And then somebody drags it out, and they go like, oh, you mean these people do this too?
That's right.
Maybe it's okay if I just, it's just like, it kind of rocks their world a little bit.
It's a weird line.
I'll just smoke a little crack.
Yeah, freebase some cocaine.
That's right.
It's a weird line though, because on the flip side of that, it's like you got people. It's like, well, look, I enjoyed drinking a beer, and they're like, well, those guys don't enjoy drinking a beer. They don't do it. They're all clean Christians. I guess I could never be one of those guys.
Oh, I know. That's the reverse effect of that.
Yeah.
And Paul's also going to say, you are therefore now under no condemnation.
Yeah.
There's no condemnation. God is not going to condemn you for all those things because they don't really mean anything.
And I think we can all say that each extreme end of a taboo is legalism or complete liberalism.
Yeah.
Well, and you got to imagine too, if you think of the context of Corinth, and I know that you just dug into this a little bit.
They were Sin City, baby.
Yeah, it's a port city, and it's a major stopping point from all directions. So you've got multiple cultures. So you got the influences of these multiple pagan religions, and man, don't you know there's some bad juju going on in Corinth?
For sure.
And so to
Mississippi.
Matter of fact, Paul even says that in the book of Corinthians, in 1 Corinthians. He says no other place has need for this.
Yes.
It's because the church in Corinth was so bad that this is the only place I have to address this.
Yeah.
Well, and this is where we get a little bit confused too, because this is where we get some of our cultural taboo language. Because Paul is, like when he says women keep silent in the church, there was a cultural thing happening there. They had these pagan temples with these cross-dressing prostitutes.
That's right.
And at certain point, the prostitutes, which you couldn't really tell if they were men or women or both.
Yeah. So they were real good looking.
They were just identified by headbands they would wear.
Well, and they would become very aggressive, and this was part of the whole deal, to seduce people, and then they would ring a bell and the orgy began. And that was
in the temple.
In the temple, it was part of their, And so, what Paul is saying here is, we have to make sure that everybody who walks in knows that this is a Christian worship assembly.
That's right.
That's that actually kind of not change the subject, but it actually kind of gives me a little encouragement in a very odd way, because I know you guys have heard this where people are like, and we've talked about this a little bit on the show before, but where people are like, things are just worse now than they've ever been. And it's like, because you see where people defile the church and things, and it's like, man, we're going to do okay, they had prostitutes having orgies in the temple.
Well, check this out. Check this out. This is First Corinthians 11, verse 5. But every woman who has her head uncovered while praying or prophesying disgraces her head, for she is one and the same as the woman whose head is shaved. All right, so the woman whose head is shaved is the adulterer. Yeah. Right? It's the prostitute.
Yeah, they would shave her head.
But we skip over the very beginning of that. While praying and prophesying, that is a verbal outward expression.
Yep. Yeah.
Now, how is a woman supposed to be quiet
while
in church
so?
While prophesying? See, and that's where we all get it twisted. We're like, women need to shut up. No, women have a role in the church. Paul addresses that they have a role in the church.
Yep.
But Paul's whole thing is motive. It's motive and appearance.
Well, and this is the whole thing. Paul wants to make sure in this particular context that there's no confusion.
That's right. Yeah.
Because if people start getting confused because there's chaos and confusion in your worship service, and they go, oh yeah, it's time for the orgy to begin.
That's right.
And then all of a sudden people start doing weird stuff, and Paul's going, no.
They're like, we're not confused no more. It's time to witness, baby.
That's exactly right. And so we can see this all the way through, especially Paul's letters to the Corinthians, his letter to Timothy, both of his letters to Timothy and to Titus. He has specific cultural context comments about certain things that are going on.
Yeah.
And of course, we know the most famous one, I don't let women teach or exercise authority over a man. Is that like prescriptive for all the end of time? A lot of people think it is.
Yeah, it doesn't happen to be a specific situation in a specific place at a specific time.
This is why we're talking about cultural taboos, because just like we said a minute ago, certain cultures want you to leave nothing on your plate. certain cultures want you to leave something on your plate.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know what's funny too is everywhere in Scripture you read about wisdom that is personified as a woman.
Oh, absolutely. There's a whole big section of Proverbs about wisdom as the woman. Yeah,
She is
absolutely.
this.
Yes.
She is that. Yeah.
Absolutely. So this is what we're talking about. He's talking about using wisdom. Knowledge is one thing, but he says knowledge puffs up, love builds up.
Yeah.
So out of love for and respect for and knowledge and in awareness of your brother or sister's weak or strong conscience.
That's right.
It's like, hey, and the issue here is there was a lot of meat sacrificed to a lot of idols in all these ceremonies.
And it was the discount meat market too.
Well, that's the thing is you could.
It seriously was.
It absolutely was. It's not like you're going in the temple, taking the meat off the altar and taking it home and finish cooking it. This meat was sacrificed, but then it's like, what do we do with it? Well, let's sell it. Let's sell it in the bargain bin. And so a lot of these people didn't have a lot of money, so they would buy the meat sacrificed to idols.
And then, we know Christians love clipping coupons.
Well, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
You got to do it. Yeah, exactly.
Get that government cheese if it's available. But the thing was. There were people that were getting very indignant about this. And Paul's saying, hey, first of all, don't get indignant about this because it's nothing. What is this idol?
That's right.
It's nothing. And he's very, very, very clear about this. He says, for even if there are so-called gods, whether in heaven or on earth, and as indeed there are many gods and many lords, for us there is but one God.
That's right. Yeah. For us.
Yes. And we exist for him, and one Lord Jesus Christ, by whom are all things, and we exist through him. So he's like laying it out. You're a Christian, dude.
Yeah.
Why are you worried about meat sacrificed to idols?
Yeah, get over it.
Except for if there's somebody that's in a very compromised position.
That's right.
Yeah.
Then they're still wondering about this idol worship stuff.
That's right.
And so we don't want to send them back into the pagan temple.
So don't cause them to stumble.
Exactly. That's exactly
That's right.
And so, no more Led Zeppelin music when we got kids in the car.
That darn back masking on that stairway to heaven.
Exactly. And there's one other. You talked about the head coverings. The head coverings that's one of the most difficult chapters to understand in the entire Bible. If you go down that rabbit hole of 1 Corinthians 11, you will stay there for a very, very, very long time.
It's deep.
The only one that I think has come close to totally figuring it out is my best friend, Michael Heiser. And if you listen to that episode about 1 Corinthians 11, it will blow your ever-loving mind. Yeah. And I don't have enough time to go into it here.
A lot of cultural references in that one.
He goes into the medical records and pulls out some stuff that just it's pretty
wild.
I was going to use another word. I'm not going to use it. I don't want to sacrifice any meat to idols. Anyway, but then there's one more. There's one more passage I want. This is later on in chapter 11, after the head covering thing. And here's the interesting thing too, is because these two issues are kind of related. This is a continuation of the head covering instructions. He goes right into talking about the Lord's Supper. Yeah. And so he says, this is, he's like pretty
he's
pretty
heated
stern
at this
about
point.
this. Yeah. He says, but if one is inclined to be contentious, we have no other practice, nor have the churches of God. But in giving this instruction, I do not praise you, because you come together not for the better, but for the worse. For in the first place, when you come together as a church, I hear that divisions exist among you, and in part, I believe it.
Yep.
So he's getting And most of the divisions are not in Corinth necessarily between Jews and Gentiles. It's between rich and poor.
That's right.
Like I said, there's a diversity of cultures. There would not have been many Jews, converted Jews in these congregations. So he says, there must also be factions among you, in order that those who are approved may have become evident among you. You can hear what he's saying there. He says, like, some are approved and some are not approved. So some are better than others, that kind of thing. Therefore, when you meet together, it is not to eat the Lord's Supper, for in your eating, each one takes his own supper first, and one is hungry and another is drunk. So all the rich people who don't have jobs show up to this huge meal
and eat all the food.
And they eat all the food and drink all the wine. And the poor people who've been in the fields all day or on the ships all day will come in
and it's gone.
They got no meal. He says, he says, what? Do you not have houses in which to eat and drink? Or do you despise the church of God and shame those who have nothing? What shall I say to you? Shall I praise you? In this I will not praise you.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's about as strong a language as Paul.
It really is.
Yeah, he's basically saying this is scuba line.
I love that
absolutely
he
is.
says in verse 21, he said, for in your eating, each one takes his own supper first, and one is hungry and another is drunk.
Yep. Boom. And you weren't obviously supposed to, it was shameful to be drunk in their culture.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it was not cool.
So this guy ain't got a meal and you done down 2 bottles of wine.
Exactly. And the idea is that we share. And see, they used to enjoy a full meal for the Lord's Supper. When they would take the communion, it wasn't a cracker and some juice. It was like a full meal. And then they would go through the ceremony in the context of the meal.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't even get to the ceremony part because they
People were drunk.
they ate up all the buckets of KFC.
Well, what's funny is this considered an agape meal.
I know.
And agape means given to
Sharing.
you. Yeah, it's given to you from God.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And that makes me think on the drunken thing when we kind of talk about that. A recent example, when I went to the Creed concert, me and my buddy John that went, neither of us drank anything there. And I don't care. Again, I have no problem if somebody drank there or drank whatever. But I noticed there was this dude down, I could see like down on the floor. He had really good seats. And he kept taking his shirt off, and he was like slinging his shirt around, and he was on like Snapchat or something the whole time. He was plastered. He didn't even know. I would venture to say he probably has no memory of that show.
Yeah.
Wow.
One of the best concerts I've ever been to in my life.
Can't do it, man.
Because he was drunk as crap. He was being obnoxious. Actually, the people with him, I could tell they were getting mad.
I bet they were too.
And I'm like, man, there you go. Drunkenness. Look, hey, have a little drink. But like, the drunkenness took it to the point he didn't even get any joy out of the show because he's being an idiot. Like,
well, and he says here, he goes through the whole Lord's Supper instructions again, just so they'll get it.
Yep.
And then he says, whoever eats the bread or drinks the cup of the Lord in an unworthy manner shall be guilty of the body and the blood of the Lord. We always sort of, use this as a time of reflection.
Right.
Oh, allow God to help you search your heart, see if there's any, and that's not terrible. It's not terrible to do that. I do that every now and then in our communion service, but that's not really what he's getting at. He's talking about this first part here.
That's right.
He says you're guilty of, basically, Jesus died for nothing.
That's right.
I mean, you're just treating him as if he died for nothing. But let a man examine himself, and so let him eat of the bread and drink of the cup. For he who eats and drinks judgment to himself, whether it be good or whether it be bad.
That's right.
If he does not judge the body rightly, and listen to this, for this reason many among you are weak and sick, and a number have fallen to sleep, and they died. It's like, if you're doing it wrong and God's killing you.
That's it.
I mean,
if you go do communion and you have the squirts later that day,
now you know why. Now you know why.
I love that next verse too. He says, but if we judged ourselves rightly, we would not be judged.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
But when we are judged, we are disciplined by the Lord in order that we may not be condemned along with the world. God's trying to save you. He's smacking you around.
And how often do we do that, though? We judge each other. We won't judge ourselves.
No, I know. And this, it's kind of like the series that we just finished, Flip This House. Judgment begins at the house of the Lord. It begins with us. So then, my brethren, when you come together to eat, wait for one another. If anyone is hungry, let him eat at home, so that you may not come together for judgment, and the remaining matters I shall arrange when I come.
That's my favorite way, the way he ends his chapters. The remaining matters I will arrange when I come. He's saying,
deal with
you are so jacked up, I can't even put it all in this letter.
TBD, man, to be determined.
So I found this thing. It's just funny because we're not going to go through talking about head coverings, cultural taboo. What was the other issue I dealt with? The meat sacrificed to idols, cultural taboo. Communion, I'd say sin issue, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just kind of blatantly disregarding. I think that could really apply across the board. Like we shouldn't be doing this.
Well, it's like if you're not right, you can't come to communion.
No,
and I'm like, it's just juice and bread at that point. Just let them come.
Yeah.
Same thing with children. They go, oh no, you can't serve. Come on, The Holy Spirit's here. You know,
That's
they're joining in. Let's
Just
lighten
cool
up
your
on
jets,
that.
man.
Yeah.
We can do a whole other episode on communion.
On
which
cooling
probably
your jets.
would be a good idea. Yes, on cooling your jets. Anyway, so then we go all the way over into blatant sin, and if we're staying in Paul's writings, you will notice that Paul has 6 what we call catalogs of sin.
Yeah.
Where Paul just starts ripping. You know, it's like these are not going to inherit the kingdom of God.
Yeah.
He talks about this, that, goes down the list. And it's interesting because number 1 on the list of all of his, the 6 sin lists, one is in Romans 1, 1 Corinthians 5, 1 Corinthians 6, because they get 2 because they're special. Galatians 5, 1 Timothy 1, 2 Timothy 3. And basically saying, get these things out of your gatherings. And number 1 is sexual immorality.
Yep.
That just like by far.
Yeah.
Then it goes down to drunkenness is after that. And then it goes to the third in line is gossip and slander.
Really?
Yeah. Those are the big 3.
Yeah.
Will not inherit the kingdom of God. How about that? Yeah. So anyway, I found this funny thing. We're going to end with this because this guy, I can't remember his name. Stephen Miller, I think is his name. I just happened upon this, and I love this because he has been working on paraphrasing the Bible.
Okay.
For this organization called Casual English Bible.
Okay.
Casual
You're gonna like
English.
this because it's even better than the Message.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He said, "I have finished all the letters of Paul except for Romans, which is the toughest and most abstract of his letters. I saved it for last."
I agree.
He says, "I just finished a draft of Romans 1. This is one of the catalogs of sins, right? See what you think about it. If you catch any mistakes or have any reaction to any of the paraphrasing, let me know. I'm just beginning to work with it." So this is like a sneak preview. So here's what it says. From Paul, who serves Christ Jesus as an official messenger. It's my assignment to deliver God's good news. God said that the news was coming. His prophets delivered that promise, and the Holy Bible preserves it. This is good news about God's son, a descendant of King David. So far, so good, right?
Yeah,
Pretty good. Yeah. The Holy Spirit made it clear that our leader, Jesus Christ, is God's son. The Spirit did that through the power that rose Jesus from the dead. Jesus was kind enough to appoint me as his messenger. He told me to help people of all nations put their faith in him and obey him. You too are invited to become the people of Jesus. 2, everyone who lives in Rome. God loves you and invites you to become his people, devoted to him. May God our Father and our leader Jesus the Messiah send peace and kindness your way.
I'm still tracking.
Man, it's all good. Yeah.
This must take a hard detour here.
Before I say anything else, let me say this on behalf of Jesus the Messiah. Thank God for every one of you. People all over the world are talking about your faith. I never stop praying for you. God can back me up on that. He's the one I serve with all my spirit as I tell others the good news of his son. I'm praying too that perhaps now God will let me come and see you. I want to bring you a spiritual gift that will make you even stronger in the faith. Actually, we can encourage each other. You can help me in my faith, and I can do the same for you. Dear friends, I've made plans many times to visit you. I've wanted to introduce some of your fellow Romans to Jesus, as I've done for non-Jews elsewhere. Sadly, every trip until now got roadblocked.
Here we go.
Okay, so
Here we go.
it says, I have a responsibility to people of all kinds, from high society to country folk, from educated to clueless. So I want you to know I'm eager to bring the good news to those of you in Rome too. I'm not the least bit ashamed of the good news. It is the power of God at work, saving everyone who believes. You're starting to remember some of these verses, right? This power came to the Jews first, but it spread. Now it's available to everyone. In the good news, we can see the goodness of God as he welcomes people of faith. Remember what our Bible says. Good people will live because of their faith. Now, God's anger is pouring out of heaven, drenching terrible and unjust people. Those who are so corrupt that they cover up the truth. Well, you can be sure they know the truth about God. He made himself pretty doggone conspicuous.
That sounds like Paul.
His invisible divine power has been on display since creation. People can get to know him and understand who he is just by looking at what he made. They don't have any excuse for ignoring him. So let's be clear. They knew God, but they didn't honor him. They didn't thank him. Instead, they came up with ridiculous theories about who he is or what he's like. Their hearts went dark and their minds went blank. They told everyone they were smart, but they were morons.
I'm actually digging this verse.
They were so stupid that they traded in the glorious immortal God so they could buy into idols handcrafted to look like mortal humans, birds, four-footed critters, and creepy crawlers.
This is the way I read Paul.
That's what I'm saying. I'm liking this thing.
So God let them have it their way. Whatever their hearts desired, lusts and sin, they did shameful things with their bodies. They traded in the truth about God so they could buy into a lie. Instead of worshiping the Creator who deserves praise forever, they worship the creature. So God let them have it their way with their self-destructive passions. Women stopped having sex the natural way. The sex they started having is unnatural. Men did the same thing. They stopped having sex with women. Other men lit the fire for them, flaming them with passion. Men on men did shameful things to each other. They'll be getting what they deserve.
They were flamers. That's what he
These people didn't even bother to acknowledge the existence of God, so he let them run wild and do mindless things that no one should ever do. They are full of it. Injustice, depravity, greed, evil, envy, murder, bickering, lies, meanness, gossip. Fuller still of slander, haters of God, insults, pride, brags, bad in new creative ways, disobedient to parents. The list goes on. Stupid, lawbreakers, loveless, ruthless. These people know the kind of behavior God expects of us. They know that anyone committing the sins I've just listed deserves to die. Yet these folks not only continue to do them, they encourage others to do them too.
I'm digging it, man. I feel like in Anchorman when he's like, boy, that escalated quickly.
Like, see, and now you can see why I always say when I read Paul, I read it in Stone Cold's voice.
Yep.
Because the best way for that to finish would be like, and that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Yes.
Yeah.
But here's the interesting thing, though. Okay, so we've been talking about some of these, taboos, wearing hats in church, playing drums in church, wearing shorts. We're talking about all the cultural taboos that we have, meat, sacrifice to idols, and we're talking about using AI and the Enneagram and all this. I read through that list. I didn't see one of those on there.
That's right.
Yeah.
I really didn't.
Yeah.
And
That's
so
right.
people say we should take sin seriously, and we should. We absolutely should. But
we shouldn't create new sin.
Well,
that's what I'm trying to say.
we should take silliness as silliness.
Yeah. What bothers us that we're just allowing it to be in our mind
Well,
sin?
let me ask you this. Is it a control feature or is it a distraction from real sin?
Yeah.
Well, and
Or is it both?
oftentimes we can use legalism that we enforce on other people to cover up our own real sin.
Yeah.
Right.
We're the ones full of it.
Yeah.
And so, there's a give and take. Now, I will say that I would probably have a problem with somebody, just overtly swearing in church.
Sure.
I don't mean, letting out,
Yeah.
fart, I mean, like legit, cussing somebody out.
If
I planned on playing worship this Sunday with a beer helmet on.
Well, see, there you go. But
if you got up and dropped MFer from the pulp, that might be.
This is the MF in Exodus.
Yeah.
I am not ashamed of the MF.
If Samuel L. Jackson was a
Yeah.
I
preacher.
apologize, Lord, with all the starving pygmies in Africa. There also are lines of politeness and respect.
Yes.
And reverence.
Yes, that we should not cross. Just out of respect for our brothers and sisters in Christ and for our elders and for, the whole thing.
Yeah.
There's all that sort of stuff. But
That's why I've told people, you can monitor your language in scenarios. It doesn't
Absolutely.
make you a fake person.
No.
Well,
No.
I'm like, I can talk in a certain way with one person and talk I
Completely.
can be a little more freer
in
language.
fact, you're obligated to do that.
And-
Yeah.
It's called controlling your tongue. It's
Yeah.
called, discernment. It's called wisdom.
And
Yeah.
this is something we just talked about in our Bible study. There's a difference between righteousness and self-righteousness.
Oh,
Yeah.
And here's the thing is when we do things with the wrong motive, that becomes self-righteousness.
Yeah.
Because we're doing things because I think it looks good.
Yeah.
Or because it's not edifying, right? Because righteousness edifies.
Yeah.
Self-righteousness just makes me look good.
Right.
But also I think it is wrong and I think it's sinful to blatantly disrespect someone else
Absolutely.
with something that
Absolutely.
offends them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so but let's not confuse it and call it sin
Right.
Yeah.
unless it crosses the line into causing
That's
another
just
brother
you
to
being an
stumble.
a-hole.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Completely.
And just for everyone at the church watching, self-righteousness offends me. So if you do it, you're sinning.
Are you not being self-righteous right there?
No. I'm being honest.
Is it your version of self-righteousness or is it God's version of
It's
self-righteousness?
Peter Jeffries.
Well, see, there you go. End of discussion. There you go. So anyway, leave us some of the most bizarre taboos that you've heard of, places you've been. Maybe we probably have some interesting taboos in the Deep South and on the bayou and, all over the place.
I'm curious, what have you thought was a taboo?
Oh, yeah, that's a
and
good
then
one, too.
after we've had these conversations, maybe not so much anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, what's your definition of an idol? Have you eaten meat sacrificed to it? And
and I'm not talking about Billy.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, y'all comment that below.
Yep.
Let us know. We want to hear some feedback from you.
Yep, we do.
And we want you to leave us 5 stars on Spotify and Apple, anywhere else you listen.
4.5.
That's right. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, and share this with at least one of your friends.
Yes. If you have friends, share it with one of them.
Yes.
Mine are sitting here, so I'm out.
Maybe you just have one friend, so just share it with one friend.
Share it with your one friend,
Your one
and
friend.
you are 100% dedicated.
Absolutely.
And like I said, guys, just share it around, and we will catch you next week.
And we'll hope. Here's hoping that all the goats are in the grass.
No mud.
Yeah. See ya.